this is how I shuffle. Man, this is a punishment. Here we go. 1, 2. Let's see what it is. This is gonna be a fantastic reading month. What's up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today is my July TBR, but it is also a very big exciting announcement of me choosing my books with my new Bookish TBR card game. Over the last few months, I've been working on putting together my own personal creative card game in order to pick books from my TBR. This whole last year, I had been reading to zero, which meant that I was reading all of the books that I currently owned on my shelf, and I ended up finishing that challenge in June, and I wanted to be able to have something new and fun in order to figure out what books I was going to be reading. This card game is gonna be really fun and interactive. It has punishments, it has rewards, it has library prompts, it has my reading to zero prompts, it has so many fun different things, and so I can't wait for you guys to see it. First, I wanna talk about the buddy read that is for my coffee page, which is very similar to Patreon. I just left Patreon because of the really high platform fees, and I joined something called Ko-fi, which is a website where you can support me and I give you these extra perks, early access to my videos, you can get blind date with the books from me, there's a whole bunch of different stuff, and so I will link that down below in case you're interested. With saying that, I do a buddy read where we read and discuss a book together every single month, and then we also have like a video Zoom book discussion along with some games. I just announced brand new tiers and perks specifically for this coffee page, and one of those perks is that I now have patrons of the month, and so every month there is a surprise patron of the month, and they actually get to decide a lot of the new features. So my patron of the month this month is my friend Kristen Patterson, and she chose for us to read Mother Noise as the buddy read for this month. I am super excited about this book because it is a memoir, and it is about a mom who was a heroin addict, and I think that this is her memoir of just how that impacted her throughout her life, how she was able to parent through that. The back of this says, I have a video about addiction being a faulty coping skill, the result of trauma or neglect being imprinted on the addict. I read a book about how recovering parents can talk to their children about their addiction. I see myself sitting next to Atlas, maybe on our front steps. Here, come sit with me. Let's share a tangerine. Let me tell you how sad I used to be and all the ways I tried to disappear and how it almost worked. I think it's gonna be really, really good, and I am so excited. It's also a fairly short book too. Now, one of the perks that the patron of the month gets is that they get to choose a book for my read of the month. So I personally wanted to create something that was similar to book of the month, but I don't really like the book of the month subscription because there's only a handful of books to pick from each month, and I don't wanna feel that pressure of having to spend that money and get a book that might not have been on my TBR to begin with. I would much rather use my library for something like that. So I created something called Read of the Month. And this is something you can be a part of if you are a supporter on Ko-fi. So what that means is that if you get chosen as the patron of the month, you get to look through my wish list and through my library TBR, and you get to choose a book and have it sent to me. I do reimburse you for that, so it's not out of your pocket. But it's a surprise for me because I don't know what book is chosen. It's literally right here, but I actually have to read this book for this month. So that way I don't become like a lot of people with book of the month where they have tons of book of the month books that they never get to. I'm trying to hold myself accountable with my own challenge and make sure that I read the book that is my read for the month. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. My friend Kristen, who is the patron of the month, she chose this book. I have no clue what it is. I did tear it open the other day, but that was by accident. I didn't actually see what was in it. So I think she put a note maybe, so let's read the note and see why she chose it. Here's the note. Okay, she said, read of the month. I picked this book for a few reasons. 1, it was on your library list. 2, I've read it and really enjoyed it. Ooh, and 3, it's on Netflix, so we can watch the show after you read it. Okay, this is really fun actually. Let's see what it is. Okay, this is awesome. So I have not read this book, obviously, because it was on my wish list and library TBR, but I also haven't seen the show. I believe that this might have been a recommendation from my Ko-fi supporters, because if you are part of my Ko-fi page, you actually get to like tell me to read books and I put them on little cards. You'll see in a second with my TBR game. So this is super exciting. So I'm definitely reading Pieces of Her this month, and I'm definitely reading Mother Noise this month. So we have to pick the rest of my TBR via my TBR game. Also, how fun is it gonna be to see what my read of the month is every month? I mean, does anybody else love surprises? Because I love surprises, and this is fun. Okay, so I have my TBR game in here. This is all organized, and I'm going to pull this out and show you how it works, and then we're gonna go ahead and do this for July. I have what are called draw cards. I actually made all of these cards myself. I got a lot of things off of Amazon, but these draw cards are how I'm going to draw from the deck. So for instance, this one says draw from the bottom. Some of these other ones are fan cards out and pick one at random. So that's gonna make it really fun. So that way when I build my deck, it's not just gonna be me picking off the top. I also have cards for picking my patron of the month. And I didn't get to do that this month because of my daily vlogging and I was at the beach. But all of the next months, I'm actually going to be picking live over on my coffee page. And then I will show that footage here later when my actual TBR goes live. So you'll get to see who gets picked for next month. So within my actual deck, I'm gonna have a couple different categories. One of the categories is the coffee recommendation. So the wonderful people that support me over on Coffee, they actually get to recommend books to me, and I actually print them out. So this is what the card looks like, and I put the book cover on it. And so this recommendation was by Brandy Hardman, and she wants me to read Perfect Match. So these would be going into my deck, and if I choose one of these, that means that I absolutely have to read the obvious book on here. You know what I mean. It's not a prompt. I have to read the book. Then I have library prompts. And so these cards, they have the same back, but they have a green outline. And if I choose these, that means that this prompt needs to be a book from my library. So this says highest rated on Goodreads. I would have to actually have a whole library TBR on Goodreads. And so I would look at what the highest rated is, and then I would get it from my library and read it. I also have the name of the person that sent in these prompts. So you guys can always send in more in a comment down below if you would like to give me more of any of these types of categories. Next up, I have my reading to 0 cards. And so again, the back is the same, but these ones are pink on the outside. And if I pick one of these cards, that means that I have to read a book that I actually currently own. So that's my reading to 0. This says choose a book that matches your current outfit. That's gonna be really fun if I pick that one. The reason that I have it separated for library prompts versus reading to 0 prompts is because I wanted to be able to have a good mixture of reading books from my library and reading books from my shelf. I didn't want to have to focus on one or the other, so it's really nice because it's going to be just whatever I pick is what I read. I also have reward prompts, and so these ones have little trophies on them, and a lot of times these might be something fun to do or maybe something to buy as a reward. I will have some of these scattered throughout my deck, so that way I can just do rewards throughout the month, and then I also will get a reward if I finish my entire TBR by the end of the month. Then we have punishments. So the punishments I made with a little skull on them, and these are also going to be thrown into the deck, so that way I can do punishments throughout the month. And then I will also have to do punishments for every book that I don't finish by the end of the month. So I'm probably going to be picking around 8 cards every month, I would say, like 8 books to read. And so I have to stick to my TBR or else I get punishments. And these all are different. Some of them are like reading ones, and some of them are things that I have to do, like drink 2 cups of water only while reading for 1 hour, or Alvin cooks you a meal he isn't good at making. Like I said, if you have ideas for rewards, punishments, library prompts, reading to 0 prompts, you can put them down in a comment and I will keep adding to my deck, because I'm not gonna be reusing the same cards over and over again. Once I choose them, they will be out, so that way I can pick from all the other cards. And then once I get low on my cards, I can redo everything again. All right, so how do we build our deck? I'm going to be building a deck of 30 cards, and it's going to be a mixture of all of those different categories. For this month, because this is the first video, I actually had my patron of the month, Kristen, choose the ratio for me. But from now on, you guys get to put a comment down below and choose the ratio. So out of 30 cards, you would get to pick the ratio of library prompts, reading to 0 prompts, rewards, punishments, and the coffee recommendations. So 5 different categories. From that, we're going to build the deck. So if you comment down below, I will be doing a random comment generator to just pick one of your comments, and then I'll be building my deck for next month from that comment. All right, so my friend Kristen had said 8 library prompts. So this is my deck of library cards. I'm going to shuffle it and we're gonna count out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then she said 3 reading to 0. I have a lot of reading to 0 prompts. 1, 2, 3. 6 of the coffee recommendations. These are the ones with the book covers on them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and then she said 7 punishments. 1, 2, 3, whoop, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6 rewards. At least she was nice and gave me a decent amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now all of these are going to be shuffled together to make our deck. And this is how I shuffle. This is our deck. I have the draw cards. So this is gonna determine how we actually draw our cards. Don't just draw from the top. What fun would that be? Okay, first up. Roll a die and draw the same number of cards. I probably should keep a dice in here, but I don't have one yet. All right, I'm just gonna use this one. Roll. 6 cards, oh my gosh. I'm still figuring out the best way to film this. So we got our deck here. Here we go, 6 cards. First up. Ooh, okay. We're doing well, this is a reward. So it's have a spa day at home. Alyssa sent this one in. So that's a reward, so that was 1 card. All right, so this is a green card. So that means it's from my library. So I have to pick a book between 275 and 300 pages. And Angie sent this in. Book between 275 and 300. I actually have a whole bunch of library books because I recently did like so many library hauls. So let's see if we can find a good one. Ooh, I hope that this one is. This would be good, great. Oh my gosh. It's literally right on the cusp. It's 267 pages. What about 387? That's way bigger than I thought. Okay, what about this one? Ah, no, that doesn't either. 334. Okay, what about this one? Oh, this might be it. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? 275? Ah! Okay, so for this library book, I am doing These Silent Woods. This says no electricity, no family, no connection to the outside world. For 8 years, Cooper and his young daughter, Finch, have lived in isolation in a remote cabin in the northern Appalachian woods. And that's exactly the way Cooper wants it because he's got a lot to hide. This sounds awesome. Okay, this is 1 book. Did I mention that I was picking 8 books? I don't know if I mentioned that. I already have these 2, so I'm at 3 books right now. Okay, and I still have to pick technically 4 more cards from here because it said roll a dice and pick that many. Okay, what we got? Ooh, another reward. Buy a book that's been on your wish list a long time, and this is from Lena. By the way, my rewards and my punishment prompts, I'm actually gonna be like vlogging when I do them so that way you can see. And I haven't decided if they're gonna be in one separate vlog or if I'm going to put them in my wrap-ups at the end of the month. What do you guys think? Okay, we have to pick 3 more. Okay, a 5-star prediction, and this is a library prompt because it's green on the outside, and Nicole sent this one in. So another library book and a 5-star prediction. I honestly don't think any of these are gonna be 5 stars. This one might be 5 stars, but let me check. I have a whole library shelf on Goodreads, so I'm gonna look through these and see if any of these would be 5 stars. I'm actually gonna pick The Rural Diaries. This just came into my library. It's there, I just haven't picked it up yet. And I think that this is gonna be a 5-star because it's about the actress who left Hollywood and kind of does this whole like living off the grid thing. Do we have a theme this month of living off the grid? While Hillary Burton Morgan's hectic lifestyle as an actress in New York and Los Angeles gave her a comfortable life, it did not fulfill her spiritually or emotionally. After birth of her first son, she and her husband decided to make a major change. They bought a working farm in Rhinebeck, New York, and began a new chapter in their lives. I've just heard everyone raving about it, and especially since I like memoirs, they said that I would probably really like it. So that's gonna be a 5-star prediction for the library. Unfortunately, I don't have it right now, but I will when I go pick it up. Okay, here we go, next one. This is gonna be a fantastic reading month, you guys. Okay, I got a coffee recommendation, and this is from Ellie. She wants me to read The Collective. And if you are watching my daily vlogs, I just bought it from my library for $5. And I get to read The Collective. A lot of people said that if I liked They Never Learn, which I did, I gave it 4.5, that I would really like this. So it says, Camille Gardiner is a grieving and angry mother who, 5 years after her daughter's death, is still obsessed with the privileged young man she believes to be responsible. When her rash actions draw the attention of a secret group of women, the Collective, Camille is drawn into a dark web where these mothers share their wildly different stories of loss as well as their desire for justices in a world where privilege denies accountability. Oh, now I understand why. Yeah, They Never Learn is kind of that like female serial killer gonna kill all the bad men type of thing, and this actually sounds pretty good. I think I have one more for this, the draw for the roll of 6. Oh! I don't know if it's because I'm done with my Reading to Zero challenge, like my original one, but I am like excited for every single card I pick. This is a recommendation from my coffee supporter and friend, Brandy. She wants me to read Perfect Match, which I do own. It is right here. I am so excited. It says, what does it mean to be a good mother? How far would you go in the name of love and justice? In the course of her everyday work, career-driven assistant district attorney Nina Frost prosecutes child molesters and works determinedly to ensure that a legal system with too many loopholes keeps these criminals behind bars. But when her own 5-year-old son Nathaniel is traumatized by a sexual assault, Nina and her husband Caleb, a quiet and methodical stonemason, are shattered. Oh my gosh, this sounds absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to read this. This is such a good month. So those were the 6 cards for rolling the die, but I'm only at 5 books, so I still have at least 3 more to go. Maybe I should pick 10 because I am off this month. So our next draw card right here, I don't know what it says. Draw until you hit a book cover. So I don't actually have any plain book covers. I was thinking about putting like maybe some of my most anticipated within the deck as well, whether it's a library or Reading to Zero, but I haven't yet. I just have my coffee recommendations. So we're gonna draw until we hit a coffee recommendation. And we also can't use the ones that we draw. So that is not one. That is not one. Nope. This is why I have a deck of 30. Nope. Nope. All my rewards, they're just going bye-bye. Here we go. Okay, this is from Marlene, a recommendation from my coffee supporter Marlene, and this is Find Me, which I actually think this is at the library. Okay, I just placed it on hold at my library, so it should be up there in a few days. Let's read what this is about. It says, a bone-chilling family history. Convicted serial killer Benjamin Fisher has finally offered to lead San Bernardino detective Daniel Ellis to the isolated graves of his victims. One catch, he'll only do it if FBI profiler Rennie Fisher, his estranged daughter, accompanies them. As hard as it is to exhume her traumatic childhood, Rennie can't say no. She still feels complicit in her father's crimes. I am excited to see what it's about. This is what it looks like, and I'll be picking it up in just a few days. All right, let's go ahead and draw. Draw until you hit a library prompt. Okay, so, nope, that's a punishment. Here we go. Book that's been on the wait list the longest. This is from Sid. Let's see what I still have on hold, because I have a bunch of books on hold, but they haven't come in yet, so let's see. So it looks like The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks. I'm in position number 7. It's the one that I've been like waiting the longest for on according to my library. And I was actually thinking of buying this book from my local bookstore because I really wanted to buy a book once a month from my local bookstore in order to keep them in business. So I think I'm gonna go do that this week. So we're gonna read The Golden Couple, which also is a coffee recommendation. I think my friend Hannah actually recommended that one for me to read. Let's do 2 more so we can hit an equal 10 books because I'm not working this month. So let's draw. It says draw from the bottom. Okay. Here we go. That was the bottom. Okay, this is reading to 0, so from my shelf. Read a book with a face on the cover, and this is from Jacqie. A face on the cover. What do I feel like reading? What do I have? Ooh. Should I read this? Oh, his picture? I'm reading this. I feel like I'm reading so many memoirs this month, but like, it's Gordon Ramsay, okay? I have to read it. That's that. So, one more. Let's draw. I'm actually surprised. I haven't gotten any for Alvin to do, which is a good thing because he's not home. I was just gonna film his part later, but this just says draw from the top. So we're gonna draw from the top. You guys have to let me know if you like this setup or if you would rather, you know, watch me draw like from above, how I did it at first. But then I was like, oh, how would you see my reactions? So, oh, this is a punishment. Okay, handwrite and send a letter to someone. Wow, man, that is, I'm gonna have to think about who I'm handwriting a letter to. I don't even know, maybe grandmother? Maybe I'll send it to my sister. All right, let's keep drawing because we still need one more book. Another draw from the top. Okay, draw from the top, here we go. Man, another punishment. This is a social media detox day, which is actually really good. I do like doing those, so that's okay, that's okay. All right, here we go, draw again. Oh, another draw from the top. I obviously do not know how to shuffle correctly. All right, draw from the top. Oh, okay, so we have a library book. This says, read a book with a cover that matches one of your bookmarks. This is from my friend Heather, and she's actually the one that makes all of the bookmarks for my coffee page. Let's find a bookmark and then we'll find a book that matches it. I think we should do this one because this is one of the newest bookmarks and I absolutely love it. Oh, it kind of looks like this matches it. Does that match it? I mean, it's not really pink. That doesn't really work. What about that? Does that match better than, no, I still think that even though it's like pink instead of yellow, I still feel like that matches better. I have to do a library book. It was for a library, so. All right, I think we're gonna go with this one because it's the closest that I have to a book that matches this, and it's summer and summer. So we're gonna go with this. Let's review what we picked. So I got 2 punishment cards that I have to do this month. I got 2 reward cards that I have to do this month. For read a book that matches one of your bookmarks, I'm gonna be reading One Italian Summer from the library. For read a book with a face on the cover, I'm gonna be reading Gordon Ramsay's memoir, and this was a reading to 0 prompt. I was recommended Perfect Match by Brandy, and so I will be reading this book. I was recommended The Collective by Ellie, so I'll be reading this one. I was recommended Find Me by Marlene, and this one is at the library. I just haven't picked it up yet. I have to read a library book that's been on my wait list the longest, and I'm gonna be reading The Golden Couple. I am gonna go buy that one though. I have to read a 5-star prediction from the library, and I'm going to be reading The Rural Diaries. Angie told me to read a book between 275 and 300 pages from my library, and that's gonna be These Silent Woods. For my read of the month this month, it's going to be Pieces of Her. And for my buddy read for the month, I'm going to be reading Mother Noise. All right, that's my entire TBR for July, as well as a look into my game of Bookish cards. So I hope you really enjoyed this. Don't forget, you can always leave me more prompts, more activities, rewards, punishments, all that kind of stuff in the comments. And don't forget to leave a comment so that way I can do a random comment picker for next month in order to pick my deck of cards. Make sure you come back to watch my July wrap-up video so that way you can see all the punishments that I did, the rewards that I did, and see if I completed my TBR. Because for every book that I don't complete on this TBR pile, I have to pick another punishment card and do it. So this is gonna be really fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys very soon in another video. Bye everyone.